Welcome to the Think Factory podcast. We got one question for you. What keeps you up at night?
Your host today on the Think Factory podcast, Chris Santomassimo. And as you probably know from listening to episodes of the Think Factory podcast, we're always on the lookout for interesting people and interesting companies. And really that kind of falls into a couple of categories, people that are doing exciting things on the technology side, but also companies that are doing, sort of the standard hard traditional work, but doing it in a very cool and innovative way. And I think that Case Paper really fits in that second category, and that's why we were drawn together. And I'm really happy to host Arika Stoecker, who's the Director of Business Development, and Blair Jason Brown, who's the Director of Marketing at Case Paper. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be here.
Well, so happy to have you guys. Certainly, being around the printing and packaging industries, we've known about Case Paper for a long time. But as I mentioned when we got together, not only were you guys a very energetic squad at the Printing United Expo, but just the material that I've seen in terms of announcements about your additions to your team and your growth over the years, just the interesting and cool way that you're going to market really drew us together. So I'd love for you to introduce the company, or maybe reintroduce the company to folks that have heard about it, and tell us about some of those exciting things.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. We really are a family. And so it says it all on our website, like we're like family, but we pay you to work with us. And so that's how it is with our employees. And so it's the best type of family, right? So We have a lot of fun. We always say that, we take our customers and our business very seriously. That's why you hear us being on the case, but we never like to take ourselves seriously. We might as well have fun with it. So that's really what tries to shine and come through in any and everything that we do, whether it's, building relationships over 82 years of being in business. Whether it's, our On the Case awards, both internally and with our customers, how we show up at events, it's our marketing materials, even our promotional pieces, which we can discuss further. Some that were produced years ago that are still being talked about and still highly requested. And then even our newest projects that are going to launch early 2026, but we gave a nice little sneak peek at the Printing United Expo at our booth there. And then, as you mentioned, even our company announcements. So our brand, our tone, our humor, we just like to have a lot of fun. You'll see a lot of dad jokes, you'll see puns, you'll see, some witty, even quirky language in there, but we just, again, like to have fun and have that shine through. So I'm going to pass it to Arika because she really has grown up in this industry. She's been with Case Paper and in the packaging and print industry for 15 years. So Arika, if you want to share a little bit about our products and services, and then I can maybe tag in it again at the end.
Well, Blair, don't minimize the impact of what you said. I mean, that little humor, it really catches your eye. And I think it makes people remember, at least in my case, it really made me remember you folks just because you were a little bit different from everybody else who's being maybe a little too serious sometimes. So it's
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate, like I said, we don't like to take ourselves too seriously, but we take our business seriously. And so, we have a lot of fun with it. And, that's really what draws, I think, almost any and every employee that we have had and have and will have to Case is the humor. I know when Arika first introduced me to Case Paper, you go on the website, you go on social, you look at other materials, and even the press releases, and it's just so fun. And you already feel like you have this connection with Case. You're just drawn in. You feel like you have that really great relationship, and you just want to get to know everyone, get to know more, and it just gives you a sense of pride when you're working at Case because you get to be your true authentic selves and have fun with it. So
very good.
Yeah,
Take it away, Arika.
Yeah, it's interesting because doing this for so long, and I say so long, and it's only been 15 years, but I look at the longevity of Case and how long we've been in business, right? And my grandfather had worked at Case, my father had worked at Case, and now, me coming into the business too. It's been interesting to see all the stages and how we've evolved. If you look at some of the other merchants out there, some of the other distributors, you need to find a way to stand out. You need to find a way to do things differently, to captivate the audience's attention, and the way that people are looking at things. You need to get creative in how you're standing out. And I think that's one thing that we have adapted to and done really well. We do offer converting services, but so do a lot of our competitors. So what are we doing differently? How are we standing out to service them in a way that makes them feel part of the Case family? And that's part of what being, on the Case means to us. And the products that we carry, we do have a breadth of a portfolio, which makes us a little bit different, from commercial print grades to commercial paperboard grades to distribute to packaging companies. So we do provide that breadth of mix for customers that operate in a little bit of a hybrid model for the services or the types of products that they make for their customers or brands that are looking for different things. So I just, to tag into a little bit of what Blair said, it is important that we do stand out in a different way, because some of what we do is the same that some of our competitors do. And I do love that when we go to somewhere like a Print United, right, that is what people are drawn to. They're drawn to some of our marketing. They're drawn to some of the unique things that we've created and done to promote what we do and who we are.
And I think that edge is not only does it draw you in, but it also suggests that you're a sort of a progressive organization, and that you're moving fast in a good way, and you're able to deliver, but you're also able to have a relationship with your customers, which really is going to set you apart in the long run, where you don't want to be a company that's just going to sell based on price. It's got to be quality, it's got to be relationship based, and ultimately I think they all feed together.
Yeah, that's, part of our strategic model is that we make sure that we stay true to who we are. We celebrate our past, our milestones, our growth, and we also keep a very sharp eye on the future. So that way we're constantly challenging ourselves, constantly innovating. And that's where we've moved into either new markets or different business areas. We see a lot of our customers who were traditionally print customers, our paper customers, and now moving into paperboard. So helping them with that transition. As Arika mentioned, a lot of the specialized services that we offer, or unique services that we offer. So we offer custom sizes. So in addition to our breadth of our portfolio when it comes to different paper and grades, or stock and grades across paper and paperboard, but then also offering custom sizes. We convert, we slit, we rewind. We also have specialty packaging. We even offer laminating and coating services as well. And if you don't have the space at your facility, we offer warehousing. So we can get it to you sometimes same day or next day. One thing that our president, or not our president, sorry, our CEO, Robin Schaefer, always likes to say, we don't have to get it, we got it. And that's truly is the case. And so we make sure that we keep a very strong inventory, and I usually say go above and beyond, but now I say we're on the case for our customers. And so, that's just something that we make sure comes through in every single transaction. And that's why we've been able to be in business for 82 years and counting, why we have such longevity of our employees at Case as well, why it's also not only people coming together as a family at Case, but people also hire or bring their family into Case as well. So as Arika mentioned, her grandfather, her father, now her, and then you see that where you have both husband and wife, or the parent and child working at Case, whether the same location or different locations. I was brought into this, wonderful industry and this great company because of Arika. She's a close family friend, and so but being introduced, and we work in two different areas, but work very closely together. So it's just amazing where when we say family, we mean literal family, we mean extended family, and then also the new Case family, like everyone becoming one.
That's pretty amazing. It's one thing to be in a family-owned business where you got multi-generations, but to be working for a business that you don't own, but have the multi-generation, staff, as well as bringing in friends. I mean, you wouldn't bring a friend into an organization that you didn't love, ultimately.
Very
Right?
true. Very
Yeah.
true. That's right.
Well, so beyond the messaging and the personality of the company, and I think you've started to allude to it a little bit, Blair. The specialty offerings that Case provides. When you talk about the challenges to the print industry, what are some of the more specific ways that Case is being creative and beyond the things that you mentioned already? What's Case doing that sets it apart and makes it a true partner for the printing customers?
I think, this is a great question. I think the past year, there have been a lot of changes, right? We've been looking at a lot of legislative changes.
They're so painful they can't even say it, right?
Right, exactly. Tariffs, the economy, some changes within brands and different things like that, right? So there's been a lot. And I think the biggest focus as we kind of go into 2026 and how we can continue to elevate ourselves and help our customers is really focusing on what the customer needs. Do they need to better be educated on some of this legislation? Do they need to better understand the tariffs? Do they need to better understand what other options they have? Within an organization like Case, how else can we help them? Is it switching to a different product? Is it switching to a different substrate? Is it creating a custom size and setting up a program so that you can shave a little, off the front and the back of the sheet, the length and the width, so that you're not, recycling as much, extra scrap. So what are some of the things we're doing to help educate them? Because knowledge is power, right? So the more that our customers feel confident going into some of these brands and some of the people that they're printing for, the more the customer is going to get that warm and fuzzy feeling with them, and then they're going to kind of bring that back because we helped build that education for them. So really educating them on the supply chain, the tariffs, and then us ourselves doing that internally, right? What are we doing to step up and level up and understand what's happening with tariffs? What are we doing to understand what's happening, with the economy, with some of the EUDR, the legislation, and how are we putting that information out there? And then how are we putting it out there on brand, right? How are we making it fun for them to learn about? How are we making it stick? So really pulling all of those things together. But I truly think knowledge is power. I think the customers appreciate it when you're bringing stuff to them to help them understand what's happening out there, so that when they go out into the field as well and they're talking to some of their customers, some of the brands, they're connecting and they're helping them, right? So what are we all doing to continue to do that, to help each other? We rely on our suppliers and some of our mill partners to help us with that as well. So just constant education, I think that's going to be a big one.
And you've talked about so many interesting things, but I think the one that really catches my ear is the custom sizes that you're able to offer. A lot of people may not think that that's a big deal, but when you're able to provide a special size that a customer is going to use without having to have a lot of waste, that puts more money in their pocket every single time they make a print. So that's a huge issue.
I think we're also seeing the biggest impact of that too are a lot of commercial print companies that are kind of segueing into packaging, right? It's new for them. And I'm staring on my wall here of all the different packages I have, and it's not a one size fits all. It depends on the weight of the object. It depends on what you're packaging. Is it multiple pieces? Is it one? Are you trying to create a setup box with a kit? So all of that, you can look at some of the commercial printing and writing print sectors, and you may just be able to fit pages for a brochure on a 23 by 35 sheet, and that can resonate through multiple forms or different projects, and you can have that ready to go. But for packaging, it's all about the uniqueness of the piece and how you're going to create it, how you're going to die cut it, how you're going to fold it. So we've really seen customers dial into that custom aspect from a packaging side, from a paperboard perspective, and seen the impact there. Absolutely.
Rather than just starting with a blank board, a blank generic board, you're able to give them a head start, really, and then help them finish and be profitable at the end of the day, especially when you get into a new product line as a printer or even outside the printing business. You run the risk that you're not going to do it very well or be profitable at it. So any helping hand that's going to motivate a profit and help you succeed has got to be key to your customer success.
I mean, it truly is a partnership. I mean, that's why our sales team, both inside sales and our, field or outside sales, they truly are experts in the industry, whether they've worked at various companies in the industry or have been at Case. They're truly passionate about it. They truly care about their customers. And one thing, in addition to brainstorming and fully understanding the project needs and some key considerations, we also try to inspire as well. And that's where we have like a lot of our promotional pieces where it really challenges the boundaries or pushes the boundaries of what you can do with paper and paperboard, with die cutting, embellishments, etc. Just some key characteristics that are beautifully illustrated in some of our promotional pieces, whether it's our record box or our latest promotional pieces called Case Paper TV or CPTV, or even the I Want to Hold Your Ham Sandwich box, which is Beatles inspired. So we can talk more about that soon. But yeah, I did notice, like, when we were at Printing United and we had these great pieces on display, that a lot of contacts were coming to us for creative board and packaging projects, especially after looking at our record box or our Case Paper TV, all made of paperboard, and also just trying to get more information about custom sizes, grades, and different types of sources, and also just distribution methods. So people are just naturally drawn to that, and then as they dive deeper, they're like, oh, Case is on it.
That's actually it's really interesting. I vividly remember so many times at Print United, and it was great to see, right? There was a lot of people that had a product that they were in their hand, like, I am getting ready to go to market with this product and I need to find, I want this type of packaging, or there's so many new things coming out, a lot of small businesses, people building businesses from scratch. And I love to see it. And I love to see how many people were there to find solutions for that. I think we're going to continue to see more of that. I think, this next generation, that's really coming through. They've got a lot of creative ideas. They're, thinking about things differently. They're focused on health. They're focused on different types of foods, different types of legislation. There's a lot of different things that are going to impact some of the new products that they bring to market. And I saw so much of that at Print United. And people asking us, oh, can you create this for me? So maybe a future business for us, who knows? But definitely the up and comingness of people looking for packaging inspiration, packaging ideas, different paper boards to use and how to bring their piece full circle, or their product, kind of full circle. Saw a lot of that there.
Yeah, one thing we like to say, oh, sorry,
Please,
just one thing, if I may add, one thing we like to say at Case is not just to think outside the box, it's to think inside the box. So what you put inside the box matters just as much as, what type of packaging and what you print and put on the outside of the box. And, the packaging not only needs to securely hold the inside product, but, the storytelling that comes through, whether it's the texture, whether it's the shape of the packaging, or even some key characteristics such as, is it FDA compliant? Is it heat and grease resistant? Does it have any other security measures on it? So a lot of key, not just to the design and not just only the shelf appeal, which is incredibly important, but also some other key characteristics. And with our customers, again, with part of that brainstorming process, truly building that partnership, that relationship, and understanding their print and packaging needs, it's also showing them that, okay, yes, you want something that stands out. That doesn't mean you have to sacrifice on sustainability. Or if you want something sustainable, that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice on it being FDA compliant. So we show them the versatility of our grades that we offer, and then how we can bring this project to life for them.
And I think that's super important. I think people miss sometimes the psychological effect of the packaging on sort of the value of the product, the brand recognition of the product. All of that really is super important. But I also think, to your point, Arika, the fact that we have the internet, obviously, and there's so much information available, and people are exposed to way more than they once were about, not only the nuts and bolts requirements like FDA requirements and such, but what else is out there. And so that really requires a supplier like Case to up your game to be able to provide, sort of the best and the brightest and empower those customers, even with small runs, right?
Absolutely.
Especially with entrepreneurs, they need those small runs, and that's where I tend to see,
Yes.
printers that are getting into packaging maybe for the first time are probably printing more on the short run side. So, to your point about being able to manage deliveries and inventory and be custom in terms of the sizes and such, that's got to be super important, especially for those small run customers that they've got a need and they're willing to pay, but they can't print a million at a time.
And they
Yeah,
can't
that's
forecast it at that point, right? It's starting up. Like this could be $1 billion business. This could be, a one time and done. You never know. And I think that's the most exciting part is to be able to help those people, bring something that they put their heart and soul into, kind of bring it to life, help them find something that is going to, allow them to promote this product, and then building a friendship in the process, right? Where, yes, we're here for a partnership, but, we're also here to all work together. We're here to help each other. And that is definitely part of the exciting part, at least being on the sales side on the forefront.
Yeah, again, like we want to inspire, we want to uplift small businesses and be part of their story. And so, one thing that really excited these small businesses or these entrepreneurs, in addition to again our fun and innovative projects that we have on display, is that for most of our grades, even for custom sizes, we don't have order minimums, and people are just like, whoa. And so that's just they want to learn more, and we're happy to satisfy that need. Again, we're on the case for you. I know I'm a marketer. I'm going to keep saying on the case, but we truly mean it. We
Well,
truly do.
well, you just threw me a softball right there, Blair. So tell me more about On the Case and what it means for the company, and what's really behind the curtain.
Yeah, absolutely. And so being on the case, it means a lot of different things and can mean different things to different people. But the common thread is that you're going above and beyond for your customers. It's truly becoming part of that story for your customers, for that project, your customers. So you're not just looking at it as, okay, this is just what I need to do in order to complete this project or to get this sale. Is truly making sure that you're doing what's best, whether it's for the environment, for the community, for that customer, for their customers. Even internally, we recognize those being on the case for their colleagues. So we have something called the On the Case Awards. We have it internally for employees, but then also for customers, where we're recognizing those who are not just innovative and not just great partners, but also who really serve the community, who really care about sustainability, who really go about things and in a different way, even if it's with laminates and coatings or with a printing project. So being on the case can mean so many different things, but the common thread is going above and beyond, and truly taking pride and being very passionate about how you execute it, not just what you execute, but how you execute it.
That's a great summary, and I think I think what you're essentially saying, or at least what my ears are picking up, is that you're not just talking the talk, you're walking it as well,
Yeah.
across the board, really, because really success starts internally with your team, and only with a good team can you be successful with your customers, I think.
Thank you. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Perfectly said.
excellent. Well, Blair and Erica, where can we learn a little bit more about Case, and where can we see Case at some events or trade shows and such? Let us know where we can all get together and experience what Case has to offer.
Yeah, usually Blair and we're always tag teaming some of these events, whether we're exhibiting or whether we're walking the show. We're always there because we like to learn new things too. We like to see what's
Mhm.
out there. We like to understand what everyone's doing. We are also very intentional with where we are, and where we spend our time. We invest a lot in associations regionally. So there's a lot of different regional print associations that we get involved within in the different regions that we service, as well as the Paperboard Packaging Council is a pretty consistent, association that we partner with. They do an awesome job with educating newer people coming into the industry, whether it's through their folding carton boot camp, or within their PPC Next meetings, which is really just to help build leaders within the industry. So really getting the companies that are within the organization to invest in future employees. Also, the National Paper Trade Association, we do a lot within the NPTA. We attend a lot of events there just to learn about what's coming down the pipeline in the next 12 months, where we come together with people within the paper and packaging space to understand what the outlook is, where we've been, share insights, share ideas, and really work together to figure out, what the next couple of months looks like and what we can do better just as an industry. And then, like I said, just any local associations, whether it's holiday mixers, whether it's events that they're putting on, just ways that we can give back to some of those regional, local, smaller associations, organizations, and get involved there. Anything to add, Blair? I don't know if I missed anything.
We're everywhere. I'm just kidding.
It's because you're on the
Everywhere
case.
all at once. Yeah, exactly. We're on the case. There you go. You're getting it. And so, but no, absolutely. Like, being involved in the community, at the association level, at the customer level, even when our customers have events, we support those as well. So we'll be a sponsor, we'll participate, we attend. A lot of times we'll see that we'll have like a tabletop there. So not just association, but our customer events as well. But then also, again, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, which is like why we like to have a lot of fun, but also we do keep it real. And so giving back to our communities, our local communities is really important. So for example, Ronald McDonald House, I know it's been, gosh, I don't know how many years that we've been partnering and supporting Ronald McDonald House, but you'll see us there as well. So that may not be an event or an activity where you have our products on display, but we are still very much so involved in the community. I know whether it's partnering and supporting first responders as well. And then I think also some hospital events. So we're quite involved, and because again we're on the case, we have a strong pride and passion about how we show up in the community and how we show up in the industry.
Well, as I said at the outset, you guys are doing a great job and sort of bringing case paper to life. So in terms of how you go to market, in terms of how you serve customers and the brand identity that you've created. So excellent job across the board.
Thank you. And that's one thing that, with our latest project that's going live in early 2026, as I alluded to earlier, it's called Case Paper TV, or CPTV. As part of that, there's kind of three parts to it. So it's 1960s, 1970s old style TV, fully made of a paperboard. And inside the TV, we have 6 different channels. So these are folders and they have tabs, and within each channel, it represents a market or an industry. And then when you change the channel, so it's not only the visual appeal of what we have in CPTV, but when you change the channel and you tune into that channel, the folder opens up and it holds additional samples relevant to that industry. So it's just showing how paperboard is applicable to various industries, different use cases. One of the notable pieces that's in the food and beverage channel is the I Want to Hold Your Ham sandwich, which is a Beatles inspired, very nostalgic, very cool, funkadelic piece. And it's in the shape of a submarine. And of course, it holds a submarine sandwich as well. And it has really innovative die cuts with the portholes and the propeller at the end. So it's a twist enclosure. And it's also in the CPTV larger project that you see all these embellishments and finishes. And the different stocks and grades that we offer. And then the most important one, and I know we're on a podcast so people can't see, but they'll see when we launch it very soon, is called the Learning Channel. We call it School of Stock. And this was really popular at Printing United when we had this on display, because I thought, people are naturally going to get attracted to the luxury and beauty channel or to the home goods channel, to food and beverage, because we have really fun and eye-catching and sometimes hilarious illustrations on it and wording on it. But what is really popular was the School of Stock, our learning channels, we call it, because inside it has 12 different paper grades, all within the same look and feel of a packaging carton, but you can easily compare and contrast the 12 different grades. You can see the different printability, the different coloration, front and back. You can see the different thickness and other key considerations. And it has information about each of the stocks on the back side. So that way, whether you are a designer, whether you're a printer, even in the education space, this was a really helpful and useful tool. So it's not just a sales enablement tool, but it's also a really good education piece that people just could not get enough of, because now it's very rare that you see the same design on 12 different grades for easy compare and contrast. So just, things like that, where it's just, we really try to understand what are the needs, what do our customers need, what does the industry need to help them make the best decisions for their printing and packaging projects. And we just try to do it in a fun and innovative way. So rather than just having spec sheets, why not have fun with it and put it all into a TV and then a certain channel and put it on display. So a lot of fun projects coming out to the market pretty soon.
And
It
even the
also,
name is cool, by the way. School of Stock. I like that.
School of Stock, yes, and
Yeah.
you'll see,
Yeah.
and the rest of the market will see soon. It has on the chalkboard, it has just types of paperboard and some key characteristics to take into consideration. But just the illustration, the graphics, and then on the back, of course, we got to have some humor and we got to fill in the puns. So
Mm.
again, the product itself we take seriously, but the deliverability of it and how it's displayed is like, let's have some fun with it. So how are people really going to take in all this information in a fun way? And studies show that if they are truly engaged, truly interested, and have fun with it, they're going to retain it more. And so that's what we want to do. We want to serve the market as well, not just our customers, but help educate the market.
yeah, and it falls on that theme of education, for 2026. And even, Blair talked about the ham sandwich. I mean, the unique part about that, yeah, yes, it's fun. It's got, a fun on-brand spin, but that is Metza's EB product, right? So it's an
Mhm.
eco barrier that is providing a sustainable alternative for some of our customers in that food and beverage space. So a lot of the things that, we're going to fill the TV with, a lot of the options and opportunities, they're ways that we can help our customers see different products, see different, innovations that are out there, understand some of the different substrates that they can use within that space. Maybe they've only really focused on utilizing one type of product because that's just what they're used to. But let's look at it a different way. Let's try to find a way to get your cost down, or maybe it's to get a custom size, right? Understand what's important to them and then use this tool as a vehicle to kind of showcase them some of the other things that they aren't considering or maybe they haven't thought of. So really, really ties in on that theme of education that, we've been kind of focusing on it and will focus on for 2026. The more knowledge that we can put out there and get it to stick and find ways for it to stick, the better.
Absolutely. Packaging is, it's storytelling. It's an extension of the brand. And so, like I said, it's not just thinking outside the box, thinking inside the box, what goes in it, but then also drawing people in to better tell your story of the product, of the brand, and also create this immersive experience. That's what we did when we designed CPTV, the ham sandwich, the learning channel, even past projects like the record box, where it's multifunctional packaging. Like, how are we creating an experience? How do we make this enjoyable? How do people are like the end user, the customer, how do they take pride in their purchase? Where, I mean, we've all had some type of cool packaging where we want to hold on to it because like you want to keep reliving that experience, or you want to repurpose it and use it for other things. And that's what like the record box did, where a box that's holding a t-shirt, when you unfold the box, it turns into a hanger. Same thing with a box that's holding a water bottle. It can be repurposed to suspend a wine bottle in air to have it on display, and the list goes on. And so really creating this immersive, fun experience and allowing our customers to do that for their products as well.
And I got to believe they get ideas from your ideas and from your presentation too. So a lot
Yeah,
of value there as well, just getting the juices flowing on what they can do with your products.
I will
absolutely.
say one of my favorite, I'm looking at it right now here at my desk. That's why I thought of it. One of my favorite pieces that I ever worked on was with a folding carton company in Minnesota, and they were packaging lenses, like glass lenses. And the customer or the end user, in this case, wanted to get away from hand packing, and they wanted to be able to have the machine automatically insert. But in order to do that, we needed to get like a softer non-woven kind of laminated to the inside of the substrate so that it came and the lens didn't get any abrasion on it. So we worked hard to find the right thickness and then develop the right size, pre-laminated the stock before it printed. And sent it in roll form. They would print it in roll form and then sheet it in-house. And essentially, the end user was able to, you know, downsize some of the hand packaging needs and go automatic with inserting lenses into the package. So that was one of my more favorite pieces to work on, and I developed a really good friendship and partnership with the printing company as we worked on it. And then I even got to know the brand a little bit because they were heavily involved in needing a specific design and answering questions. So it was a lot of fun, a lot of work, but a lot of fun.
So
I love
fulfilling when
it.
you get to see it come to life, right?
Yeah. And then you keep it on your desk for like 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there you go.
great.
I love
Very
it.
cool. That's so great. Well, Erica and Blair, you've just been an absolute pleasure. I feel like we could do a whole series on case paper and your ideas and capture the excitement that you have. But you guys are a lot of fun today. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Thanks.
Really
Yeah, this
enjoyed
was
this
a lot of fun.
conversation.
No,
Yeah,
that's
this was
great. I hope
great.
this is not the last time that we get together on the podcast.
Absolutely not. Happy to be back. And so thank you for, for reaching out and for learning more about Case, learning more about our projects, our customers, and, how we do it, but also why we do it. So
Yeah,
thank you.
phenomenal. Well, just to sum it up, this has been Blair Jason Brown, the Director of Marketing, and Arika Stoecker, the Director of Business Development for Case Paper. And I'm Chris Santomassimo, your host today on the Think Factory podcast. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.